Hello, everybody. Okay, it is 2:16, so we are going to go ahead and get started. And again, we had about 22 people signed up for today, so I imagine a lot of people will be heading on the recording, but we're going to go for today and jump in. It's nice to see you all. Thank you for coming back. So first of all, I would like to ask who would like to say something about what they experienced between last session and now, or any insights, ahas they had, any connections they made about their intuition. And and Al, I thought you might have something you might want to offer since we chatted about it. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go first. It's going to be real deep though, so forgive me. So after our writing experiment, where we wrote about what it was that we knew was changed, or how we knew that our problem was changed, I told my therapist that on Tuesday, and she was like, "So what problem were you solving?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. We didn't talk about that in class. She's like, no, what problem were you solving?" And I like sobbed for the next 5 minutes. It's a deep, deep problem that I'm trying to solve. Apparently, it has to do with self-love and self-respect. So that was the big insight that I had. Oh, the other big insight that I had after that was that I didn't know how to engage in self-love and self-respect, and I just didn't even know what the terms meant. And then I had another conversation, and the insight I had was love and respect are not things you think, they're things you do. And you do them for another person, and that other person tells you whether they feel loved or respected. And I need to figure out what that means for me so that I can show myself that I respect myself, and I can show myself that I love myself. And I don't even know what I would have to do that. So, big insights from
Big,
that
huge insights, and so important. And not just for your own self-awareness, but also for your business. We're going to talk about how connecting it right to your business today, because as entrepreneurs, our businesses are an expression of ourselves. Gay Hendricks says that entrepreneurship or business is a spiritual journey. And so it's really important that as we become more aware, we also use that awareness to integrate and become more whole, so that we can do this thing we are, called changing the world through our work and through who we be and how we be, right? So thank you, Al, for sharing that. I love that we got to catch up on that too. So I appreciate your offer here. I was going to also say one thing about intention today. So if you have an intention while we're sharing insights, etc., you can go ahead and drop that in the chat just to speak it out or write it out into the world. Who would else like to share about any insights? Or Leanne.
I'll go. So most of you many of you probably have worked with Terry Maxwell on clearing your energy and the ABCs. And I always had trouble with the connect part. And after this series last 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, I changed my C to check in with my intuition. And it was a game changer. It was like, okay, and I'm acknowledging, I'm breathing, and then I check in with my intuition, which just resonated. And this week has just been completely different when I clear energy, because I'm going to the power of my intuition once I clear and do the breathing. So that's my kind of aha moment.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So for those of you who haven't done the Prosperity Challenge yet with Terry or with Dina, she talks about the ABCs, and the C is connect, meaning we're talking about clearing energy, getting the static out of our system, trying to look at those limiting beliefs, how they make us feel, the sort of the things that keep us stuck. And so when she says connect, she often talks about connecting to your higher power, your sense of spirit, your sense of if you have a religious framework around that. So Leanne, I really appreciate you offering that too. Like, what about that clicked for you? What was the thing do you think that made it click?
Because I'm really working to trust my intuition and not overthink, especially in the business environment and probably personal as well. But as I'm clearing my energy to manifest what I'm looking for my business, I need to trust my intuition, and because I'm that person that wants to see the numbers, do the research, understand it all, versus trust myself. And so that checking in with my intuition was like, okay, my intuition tells me what to do next, and really kind of going with that.
So what's really important about what you said is that like you have previously gone through, like we want to know the data, you want to know what all the information so that you can make it a decision, right? And the sweet spot of all of this, which is what we're going to talk about today too, so thank you for teeing me up, is to do that work, to have the information, to know the data. I just got finished off coming through the growth sprint, a session of the growth sprint, and in that session we talk about understanding what the numbers are telling you, right? But then also you have to be able to intuitively understand the meaning behind the numbers, because you can interpret data any number of ways, right? But you are the expert. You're the expert on you. You're the expert in your business. You're the expert on, your clients. So that's where that sweet spot is, right? We're going to understand what we're working with and also intuit our way through it so that we know what's right to do next from here.
Yep.
Awesome. Well done. Yeah, absolutely. Patty.
So I have recognized that, so I guess I'll say, this is my son, Corey, and he was an amazing part of my life for 17 years, and he passed away. It'll be 4 years in December. And so he had a number of disabilities. And so I was really just connected with him at a very deep level. And so I think part of I don't know if I need to distinguish between my intuition and what I hear from him or how he guides me. I don't know if I need to really separate those, but they certainly are entwined right now.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe have always been, because he never did actually speak. So everything that I had, all of my care for him was kind of on an intuition level or spiritual level in some way. And so I've written a book about him. It's close to being done. And it's about how I learned how to love myself by watching him and taking care of him. And just, he was this person who just intuitively or instinctively knew that he belonged in this world. And there was no question, even though he was in a wheelchair and he's got dark skin and, all these things that people tend to judge, that we tend to judge each other for. He never internalized any of that and was just always very much at home in this world. And so I've written this book that I'm trying to figure out the final kind of container of how it's going to come out, because I wrote it in a certain way that is kind of narrow, but there's something that keeps pushing me to say, no, broaden out. Don't hone in on this one specific person who's very much like me, which I'm not necessarily the typical person in the world. So I keep feeling this push to make it more inclusive, to make it more accessible. But it's definitely, it might be helpful for folks like Al who are really looking for, well, how do I do this? Mm-hmm. And it's really just based on what I saw from Corey and how he, the things that he did every day that helped me to figure out, oh, okay, when I feel like stretching, I need to stretch.
Yeah.
Just as an example.
Well, it's interesting what you're saying too about not sure if you said that you're what you're hearing from Corey and what you are intuiting on your own are intertwined, and you're not really sure if you need to discern between those two. I mean, like we talked about last week, we get information from all kinds of ways and sources, and we can receive them from all different places and people. So in spirits, even if you're open to that. So which I am, and so I hear that, and it's interesting to kind of I wonder, and you don't have to answer this now, but I wonder for you, Patty, what is the opportunity for you to access different sources of information for different purposes? So is it for marketing the book or for directing the book's next steps? Do you need to, I'm making this up, right? Do you need to listen more to your higher coach? and for maybe what you're going to be putting in the book, maybe Corey is going to be, he's the source for more of the content. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm making that up, but that gets a little bit more refined than we're going to get into today, but it's an interesting extension of the conversation. So I appreciate you bringing that forward. Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, Kathy.
For me, I had picked a name for my new business and found out it might not be as trademarkable as I wanted it to be. And so really kind of was looking and kind of forcing other names and, marinating on that for a month or so. And then I just kind of came back and said, no, that's the name. Like deep down that there's a reason we picked it. We had this great brainstorming session with people, and it's like it just kind of doesn't matter, you know what I mean? If it is truly trademarkable or not, it's like that's the name. It says everything we want it to be for the business, and I just needed to go with it. So that was a kind of a big aha for me in the last couple of weeks.
Awesome. Well done. That's great. Cool. Sri or Anne? The other one, if you want to share anything? You don't have to. No, she says no. Okay. Okay, great. And Charmone, are you just going to hang out and listen today? That's okay too. No?
Yes, I will.
Okay, great. No problem. If you can, a little bit later, we're going to put you all into small groups. So if you can go into those groups, that's great. If not, we'll just put you in. You can listen there too. Okay, so I regrouped after our last session because there were so many things that I wanted to impart that I just didn't get to. And so I asked myself, what are the things, if I had to choose, which apparently I do have to choose, the most important things to leave you with after these two sessions, what would they be? So that's my answer is over the next 45 minutes or so, what I came up with. So I didn't see anybody put an intention in the chat yet. Does anybody have an intention, or if you just want to, I'll that's a different way. I'm going to ask you to spend 30 seconds thinking about what you would like to get out of our session today. And I'm going to specifically ask you to frame that around the business piece of it, because we'd like to point it at that today. So some shift, insight, etc., motivation, clarity, whatever it is you want to get around your business, and in terms of bringing your intuition into it.
Merritt, just because I'm not quite sure what to rate, could you give me an example?
Sure. So something like, I want to get clarity on, maybe for Patty, I want to get clarity on how to market my book. And I'm putting words in her mouth a little bit, but Al says confidence that I can operate my business the way I want to. Great. You're looking for assurance that way. Maybe for Kathy, it would have been last week or 2 weeks ago, it would have been, I want to get clarity on the name of my business. And I want to make sure that I'm feeling great about that. Or it could just be, I'm unsure what the next steps are, and I'd like to get some assurance around the next steps. Clarity in the audience and targeting with my book. Awesome. Thank you, Patty. And Sri, just because you're not talking doesn't mean I don't see you.
I just also want to say while we're waiting, I had such a similar experience regarding the name of the book, Kathy. I had this name just plop out of the sky, and that name doesn't work with my narrow focus, but it is the perfect name for the larger focus. So you saying what you just said, Kathy, just makes me feel even more committed to that larger audience.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. I find I often get moments like that when I'm at acupuncture. It's like a specific thing. Like I seem to have these, like the name of my business came to me when I was on the acupuncture table. I'm not sure why that specific vehicle works for me, but it seems to. Leanne, get clarity on where to focus my time for future growth. Anne says, I want to go in a new direction, but I feel pulled back because I keep meeting new one-on-one clients, which is amazing, but it's not where I want to go. Yeah, that's what we got to call contrast. We'll call that contrast. So I think I'd like clarity to know how to help one-on-one people in a way that is finite, that in a way that it's finite on my resources. Can you clear it?
I'm sorry, was that me? I was
Yeah,
replying
that
to
was
Al's
you.
comment
I
in the
think I
chat.
missed
Oh,
a word there or two, Anne.
in what statement?
Hang on, when it disappeared on me.
It's the one-on-one people in a way that it's finite on my resources. The
Yes.
phraseology is a little awkward.
I'm trying to, but for some reason my chat just collapsed. Now I can't. I lost this statement.
Oh, apologies. But I think what I'm trying to say is my intention is I want to go in a new direction with speaking, but I feel like I'm sort of held back in the area that I'm already here because I'm known for and work with one-on-one clients.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to go here and also serve the one-on-one clients, but in a way that is finite on my resources and less expensive for them. So I have the time to help them and help them get to the next step, but I can also take the next step. Right. Sorry,
Okay.
That was a very long explanation of
No, that makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. So you're looking to find a solution to the one-on-one client conundrum and also be able to make space to grow in this other direction of speaking.
I think I have one.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So you're looking for more confidence, more assurance, more clarity on that sort of.
Can you just tell me what to do?
Well, I could, but it may not work. And did you have a question about owls too?
That's okay. We'll do it in the chat.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now I am going to share my screen and back to my fancy slides. Yay, fancy. No music debacle today. Okay, so we're going to connect this intuitive process connection to your business today. And I'm going to offer a tool, which is my favorite go-to tool for this, to do just that. Okay, so this is a tool that I learned from, again, from IPEC, where I got my certification from, and I use it and adapt it in all kinds of ways. So I would like you now to please get a piece of paper. It's scratch paper. You're not going to show anybody else unless you want to. And on that piece of paper, you're going to have it horizontally, like so. See, this is just random paper on my desk, so it's not too pretty. And you're going to make 4 columns from left to right. And the first column, you're going to list at least 3 things that you want most for or out of your business. So it could be, I want to make a great impact in X field. I want to help people find their purpose. I want to transform the cosmetics industry. I want to empower people to find joy through my writing. I want to I want to inspire people to learn how to juggle through my speaking engagements. Whatever it is. 3 things. And don't think about it too much. Just the first 3 things that come to your mind. If you have more than 3, that's great, but try to have at least 3.
Merit, apologies. I just need a clarification. Are
Sure.
these 3 things we want to do?
They're not specific actions or outcomes. They are general. So I want to have, I would like to experience abundance in my business. I would like to experience growth and impact on a global scale. I want to inspire others to, if you're if you have a core message of your speaking, Anne?
Yes, but it'll take me the rest of this session to explain it.
Okay.
So
I just did if the core message. Okay, I'll give you my example. So my example for my speaking engagements is choose well, choose wisely, choose love. That's my core message. So I'd like to inspire. I'd like to inspire others. I would like to experience success by inspiring others to choose well, choose wisely, and choose love. That's one thing I want out of my business. I want to become a respected and successful author at my business. You see what I'm saying? Those are broad statements. They're not bucket list items. They're broad experiences.
I decided on a statement. You're more awesome than you think you are.
Great. Perfect. So I'd like to tell the world that they are more awesome than they think they are. It could also be qualitative, right? I'd like to experience joy. I'd like to have more success than I can dream of right now. I'd like to impact people in a way that's deep and meaningful. So three of those things. Does everybody have at least three? Yeah, okay. If you don't have three, then at least give yourself two to choose from. All right, so the next column 2, going from left to right, 3 things I want to experience in my life, in the life of my business. So these are specific. I want to have speaking engagements across Europe, or in the Philippines, I want to give a streaming 45-minute talk from the top of Kilimanjaro. Or they're more specific, right? Bucket list items. I want to sell 1 million copies of my book. I want to increase to $1 million in revenue in 5 years. They're more specific. Do you see what I mean? If the one on the way left is I want to tell the whole world how they're more awesome than they think they are, then maybe in column 2 it's I want to speak to 1 million people, or 500,000 people, or I want to speak to 1,000 people this year. Maybe if it's a coaching business, maybe I want to increase my revenue by X number by the end of this year. I want to hit the 6-figure mark in 12 months. Something like that. Good? Everybody have at least 3? Yeah? Okay. Oops, come back. Okay, next one, column 3. 3 things I believe make my business unique. And you could also put me unique, since it is you are at the heart of your business and you're the captain. So it could be skills, abilities, talents, qualities, services, products. And another one of these Shift Code groups, there's a guy who does products that are specifically on 3D printing, and they manufacture stuff through 3D printing that has people's logo on it. So they have a really specific influence on the outcome of the product. It's very unique. Maybe it is I have a talent for bringing out people's greatness. Maybe it is that I have a special story to tell, and I know that people respond to it. Maybe you're a master networker. Maybe you're a great storyteller. Maybe you are whatever it is. Maybe you have an awesome smile, or a great sense of humor, or ability to make people feel safe. I would put a caveat on this, which is 3 things that I believe make my business or me unique, and then parentheses, and that I like. That I'm proud of, that I feel good about. Okay, good. Everybody got 3-ish? No. You have 2, Anne?
I just need a little more silence time.
Okay.
If that's possible. Thanks.
I will stop talking. Good. Okay.
Thanks. I just need to really sit and think about it.
Absolutely. I do not take offense. And I just scrolled over to see Leanne and Sri. Are you all caught up? Sri, you're good? Good. Okay. Great. Okay, so the last column, 3 things that I can do. These are actions I can take, that I can do to make improvements or positive actions I can undertake in the next 2 weeks. So 3 needle moving activities. They do not have to be monumental, world-changing needle moving activities. They can be small, but they're going to be powerful. Do not think about this too much. At least 3.
Improvement in
So it could be either improvements towards your goals that you have, your goals that you have in your life. Like if you wanted to say, I can make improvements around, I could tweak my services, I could get my branding the way I want it to be. Or for you, it could be maybe you want to, what was your initial intention? Keep going back, sorry. About the audience, maybe it's
finalize my audience. Yeah.
okay, finalize your audience. So then in that case, it could be, I could, what steps could it be to lead you to finalizing your audience, for example? Maybe you need to do some interviews. Maybe you need to put in some meditation time or do some writing time around the audience, kind of get your head in the game around what your audience is. Maybe it's asking other authors who have done similar things, what they've done. Or if you have readers, people who have been reading your book, you can ask them their opinion. But these are concrete actions. And again, they can be big, but they don't have to be big. They do have to, however, have to be something you can do in the next 2 weeks. So just keep that in mind in the frame of your life. First thought, best thought. Does everybody have at least 3? Al, are you scratching your head or are you good? Okay. All right, I'm going to move on. So I'd like you to just take a moment with these lists. And again, without overthinking, first impulse is the best. On each list, I'm going to ask you to circle one of the 3 items that you listed, or one of the items, how many ever you have there. The one that pops out to you and says, pick me. The one that feels like it's pulling on your heart. The one is you moved by the most. One item in each column you're going to circle. Or if you typed it, you can put a check mark or something by it. Okay, good, everybody? Yeah, okay. All right, so this is intuitive Mad Libs, leadership Mad Libs. I do this a lot with leaders when they're talking about moving their business forward. And you all are leaders of your own business. Okay, so this is how you're going to go. You're going to write this sentence either on the back of your paper or on the bottom, wherever you want to find the space. I will, and then you're going to enter the item you circled from column 4, meaning the farthest right, the action item. So we're going to work backwards now from right to left. I will, and then you're going to enter that item. Using enter the item you circled from column 3. So working backwards from right to left. This is the quality, attribute, skill, offer that you circled. To experience the specific bucket list item that you entered on column 2 that you circled. And by doing so, we'll also achieve the item from column 1. Everybody got that? Is that a happy dance, Patty? Okay. I wasn't sure if you were unsure or you were happy. Okay, that's good. So I will, item from column 4, using my item from column 3 to experience item from column 2. And by doing so, we'll also achieve item from column 1. When I have all eyes up, I will know to keep going. Okay, cool. Anne, are you good or doing it? Keep going. Okay. Is that okay? All right. So if it doesn't come out grammatically correct, it's okay. Don't worry about adjusting it for right now. Because here's what happens. These 3 things tend to happen. One of 3 things. This is called my personal mission statement. Okay. And by the way, you can do this once a week, once a quarter, once a year. I do it about once a quarter. It will change. It's okay. It's supposed to change actually, because your business is iterative, your life is iterative. It's going to change. So great. So this is where we are today, and it's a place to work from, right? So one of 3 things tends to happen. If you're lucky, and this is what happened to me the first time I did it, which is why I love this exercise so much. Like angels start to sing and the clouds part, and you're like, yes, my mission statement, I see it. It is so clear. And you cheer, right? Or it kind of makes sense. The syntax is weird. The grammar doesn't quite work. You're like, I'm not really sure if this makes sense. I picked one from over here and one from over here, and they don't really match together. I'm not really sure, but maybe okay. Or it's like, huh? All of that is good. There's no wrong way to do this. There's no wrong outcome. It's all good because we will find the sense in it. Okay. So if it's not clear to you, it will become more clear. That's the goal. And if you're really confused or really like not sure, set the intention in your mind to find that you will find the solution, that the clarity is in there for the lesson or the information is there for you, because it is. Because even if it's word salad right now, your intuition is speaking to you based on what you chose. So we're just going to find the way. Okay. Have faith in the process. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to break you up into, I'm going to break you up into 2 groups or pairs. Let's do pairs. It'll go a little faster. And that way you'll, then we can share out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to break you up into pairs. Hold on a second.
I think one of us might be in a 3.
That's
because otherwise we'll be with the Read AI meeting notes, and I don't think they're going to have a really interesting conversation.
Yeah, no problem. Or I can do that with that person too, so that's totally fine. And now she says, where are the groups? Aha, there we go. Okay, we're going to create 1, 3 breakout rooms. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, I'm going to create 4, and then if I need to move you around a little bit, I will. So just give me a minute, okay? But here we go. So here's the deal. You're going to come into your breakout rooms. You're going to choose one person to share their sentence out loud. Obviously, they'll read it to each other. And then you're going to talk a little bit about, here's what I think it means, or here's what it sounds, or I'm not sure what it means. Can you help me? And then your partner is going to say, here's what I heard. Tell me more about this. What does this mean to you? Help them find the connection. Okay. See if you can find some sense in it. If it's not clear to you already. If it is, then you can share why that is. And then I'll give you a switch mark. We'll give about 5 minutes each, give or take. Okay. And then we'll switch and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Sound good? Is that clear to everybody? Yes? Okay. So here we go. All right. I think I'm gonna actually move Kathy. Okay, Charmone, I'm gonna put you with me, and then that way, if you can come on, that's great. If you can't, no worries. Okay. 2, 4. Okay, here we go. Everybody go. Recording up again. All right, so tell me, anybody, jump on out and tell me how it went for you, and including it started to make sense. That's great. And if you want to start, that's great, or someone else can too. Either way.
What would you like me to share?
You can share your sentence. You can share how it went. You can share if it made sense or not, or if you had an aha, or if it was totally useless exercise. That's okay too.
It's not useless. And Shri asked me a really good question, and she goes, do you feel like this is going to be useful for you? Like it gives you, like it's going to help you get to where you want to go. And I said, yes, it's always nice to know where that is, so you can take the steps to be there. And I'm happy to read my sentence. Right. My sentence is, I will create new services using I'm really effing good at this. Sorry, that's what I wrote down. To experience 10K months in Q4. And by doing so, we'll also achieve the money to appropriately pay myself.
That sounds very straightforward. Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. Well done.
And Shri has a really good one too, if you want to share.
Yeah, if she'd like to, you're welcome to. You don't have to though.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. It's a convoluted sentence, but it does actually make sense. So I will meet with thought leaders in my community using my business model, and that bit to achieve national growth, and by doing so, achieve a wildly profitable business.
Nice. Wildly profitable. Fantastic. Love it. And how was that for you, Shri? Did it give you some motivation, or did it give you food for thought, or was it?
Yeah, so after I talked through with Anne, it became clear that so I got more clarity as I talked through the sentence. The sentence at first was like, what? But yeah, so where I landed was that, yes, I'm clear about what I want to do and why I want to do it and how it's going to lead me to where I want to go.
Perfect.
Yeah. And Merritt, do you mind resharing the screen that had the sentence structure where you were choosing from the different boxes?
Not at all.
Thank you.
You want the boxes or the Mad Libs?
The Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a screenshot of that? Cool. Awesome. All right. Anybody else like to share? What was that like for you all? Yes. Okay, Kathy.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool actually, because it's like, and not knowing where you were going with it actually made it better, because you just kind of throw your ideas out. So I'll read mine. It was I will reach out to 20 healers using my personalized healing plan to experience being known as the go-to source for healing possibilities, and by doing so, we'll also achieve elevating healers.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it made sense, but the one thing I think I would change is the personalized healing plan is more for like customers. So I think I might just replace that with something in my column, or just like I have an email almost ready to go that I would send to them. So I would probably just tweak that one thing, but other than that, it's like right on, spot on.
Awesome. And what I really appreciate about, first of all, it's all very connected. I mean, the words are very similar, so it's clearly it's a streamline, but also you said something very specific, which is 20 people. So that gives you a target, 20 people in the next 2 weeks, like bam, yeah. Right? Super actionable. Right. And Shri, I was going to mention that to you too. You said you wanted to reach out or talk to thought leaders. You might want to put a number on that, like how many thought leaders in the next 2 weeks. And it's 2 weeks because the idea is to get you motivated to take action. If 2 weeks is too soon, you can say a month and say, maybe I want to work, 5 people a week for the next 4 weeks or something like that. But the idea is to give it a real specific target. Okay. Leanne or Al or Patty?
I'll do mine quickly.
Okay.
I will request a meeting with my pastor, who's a published author, to talk about the book, using my experience, my story of being Corey's mom, to experience selling 1 million copies of the book or so. And by doing so, we'll achieve abundance in my business.
Okay, awesome. That's very clear. Again, remember that we know that not necessarily the action that you're going to take in the next 2 weeks is going to be the thing that makes everything else happen. But it's the thing that will help you get over the hump, or will help you start the process, or will open a door, right? So it's not, it could be the thing that makes it all happen, but it's not, we don't want to put pressure on that one activity, right? But it's just about stepping into the process and then learning how to follow the intuition to the next steps. Yeah, great. Cool. Thank you.
So,
And so it shall be, Patty.
So I was talking to Patty. Patty was my partner, and I was struck both by my sentence and her sentence, and how much the using my column was just a source of power, and like a deep source of power that is reusable,
Yeah.
and requires your respect and your love. So just when Patty's alignment on using my position, my story as Corey's mom, it's like, yeah, that's the thing that's going to take you everywhere.
Right.
So for mine, it was I'll write my professional bio.
Great.
Imminently achievable in 2 weeks, I'm told.
Yes.
I haven't done it in 6 months though. So imminently achievable in 2 weeks. Using how much I care.
Mm-hmm.
To experience a vacation with Brenna, my wife. And by doing so, ultimately achieve a sense of calm and poise and balance in my days.
Yeah. So tell me about how the bio connects with the vacation.
Well, I need money. And I don't connect with institutions deeply and thoroughly enough, because I don't know how to position myself. Or maybe I know how to position myself and I don't believe that it'll work. Or maybe I know that they need a bio and I just won't write it because I don't respect what I have to offer enough to write it down. I don't know. Something's going on, which is why I can't write the bio. But luckily you paired me with Patty, who's a writer, and Patty and I are going to schedule some time together, and we're going to help each other out. And
as you just so eloquently said, your story is what's going to take you where you want to go.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that's true for Patty. I think for me, it's that I care a lot, and the fact that I care a lot has been used against me before. So I think I might have a little bit of fear about using that as like my way of differentiating myself, because it's not been healthy for me. But it is ultimately what I want my power source to be, and what I think my power source is.
Ow.
Yeah.
I have a thought. What if your whole shtick is that, I mean, your whole position. What if it's like your market position is like for people that care a lot but need to set boundaries?
Yeah, I'm definitely not the person to teach them that yet, but
well, but by learning yourself.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you, teaching people things is the best way for me to learn.
You only need to be one step ahead. That's it. Just one step ahead.
No, I agree. There's something there. Thank you, Anne. I actually, the fact that you found that to be so exciting is meaningful. So.
Yeah, sorry, I did like a dance. I was like,
no, I mean, clearly there's a need. Clearly there's a need. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I think there's definitely a need. I feel like that resonates with me. Like I'm almost too accommodating, or too nice, too caring, and then it can be great, but it could also backfire.
The number of people I've met in the last 2 weeks that are like, I have a 12-year toxic relationship with all of my jobs because I care so much and they abuse me for it. Like I need to build a support group for these people.
Well, there you go. Awesome. I'm mindful of the time, so I just want to check in with Leanne. I think you're the only one that didn't share it, right? Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm glad to. So need to wordsmith mine just a little bit. The junior English teacher in me is having some grammatical twinges here.
That's okay.
But I will organize myself using my experience to become a subject matter expert speaker. And by doing so, will make an impact on emerging leaders to be successful without burnout.
Okay. So tell me what that means to you. I mean, in terms of having that when you look at that statement, you reflect on it, what does that mean to you?
Yeah. So it really, there's so many different, I'm going to say planes in the air right now of different directions that can go and different things that are out there and moving forward. It's like, okay, I need to organize myself, pick 3 or 4, move after those. And it sounds silly to organize myself, but I've got ideas everywhere. So I need to parking lot some of them and pick a couple. So organize myself, pick the things that are within my experience so that I'm, because there are so many that's, oh, this sounds cool. This sounds good. Organize it, stick with my experience. I know I'm a speaker. I know I'm a subject matter expert. How do I take what I know and drive that into helping emerging leaders be successful? Awesome.
All right. And thank you so much, all of you, for participating so thoughtfully and so generously and courageously today. It's been such a joy. I wish I could do, maybe I should turn this into a class for Shifco. I would love to do that. I really appreciate you all showing up and doing the work and sharing with each other. It's amazing to be a witness and support you all. So thank you. In the last minute and a half, 2 things to share. One is, right now, I would like you to pick an accountability buddy, either in this virtual room or somewhere else in your life. Text them right now or send them an email, or if they're in your house, go yell at them and say, hey, take 15 seconds and say, I have this action item that I'm supposed to accomplish in the next 2 weeks or whenever it is you set. Will you please hold me accountable? Do it right now. I'll wait.
Yeah, my husband was standing about 20 feet from here, so that was easy.
Fantastic. If we have a little more time, I would ask you to see who the responses are, if they came back, if they were surprising to you or not. But you can also send me an email if you want. You'll have my email now. And then once you've done that, I'm going to give you a at-home practice. Some of you might be familiar with something like this, but what I would like you to do is write yourself a little letter. It could be in a journal entry or something like that. It's just it's a writing prompt. And it is as if you are a year from now and you have accomplished the item in column 2. So the thing that the bucket list item that you set up in your statement.
Well, can you say that once more?
So Patty, I think yours was sold 1 million copies of your book. So as if you have accomplished that, write yourself a journal prompt. What is it like? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've just sold my 1,000,000th copy of my book. It feels amazing. I've helped to so many people. I'm so lit up. I know that Corey's story is helping so many others. I can't believe how awesome it is. I've been able to travel to this place and that place. And the money is pouring in. And it feels so good that I can do so many great things with that money. I can do this with that money and that with that money. And I can take a trip with my husband or blah, 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 right? And just fill out your life picture in a writing prompt of what it feels like, looks like, sounds like. Are you taking off, Sri? It's great to see you. Go ahead and connect with me again if you like, okay? So write it as if it has already happened, right? Oh, Kathy came back. This is a done deal. It's a year from now. It's already happened. So you're writing from the perspective of, I've already had the impact on this many people. I've already spoken on this many stages. I've already provided this much service. I've already, whatever it is. What does it look like, feel like, sound like, tactile? If there's any tactile things, maybe it's I've just bought myself some new furniture for my new office because it feels so great, and I love the way the material feels against my skin, or when I'm sitting in it, I'm sitting in a nice cozy chair and I'm drinking my cup of tea in the morning, and it feels so great to be in my new fancy wonderful office that supports me and makes me feel inspired. Whatever that is, but fill out the vision from the internal perspective. Okay. And so it shall be. Thank you much. So everybody, I really appreciate it. If you want to connect, I'd love to connect with you all. I'll follow up with you the best I can. And I wish you all the best in your intuitive journeys. See you later.
Thank you, Merritt. This was
Thank
great.
you, Merritt.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.